today's word on wellness, I want to talk about this idea that your body is divinely designed. If you believe that, if you know that to be true, give me a thumbs up or a heart. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you know or if you believe to be true that your body is divinely designed. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. So, one of the things you guys probably know my journey, I started out as an OB-GYN, just, doing the typical OB-GYN thing. I wanted to do something different because I was disillusioned with the way my practice was going. I was seeing 30, 40 people a day, being told I needed to see more people. And I just knew there had to be more to this whole medicine thing. I had wanted to deliver babies since eighth grade. So I knew I wanted to go into medicine. I felt like I had been called to do that. But once I got into it and got into one of these regular jobs, I was like, is this all it is? Just churning people, running this hamster wheel? I thought there's got to be more to it than this. And I was going through, my own personal health issues. Some of you know my journey. I lost 60 pounds from 2011 to 2013. And I've kept off most of that, give or take 10 or 12, being totally transparent right now. So I'm still on a bit of a health journey. I understand that. But one of the things that I came to understand, and I knew it from the beginning, I am a woman of faith as well, the idea that our bodies are divinely designed. So I always knew it, but I was able to put it into practice once I left my group and started practicing on my own. And what do I mean by the body is divinely designed? I'm saying like the way God created these bodies are pretty amazing and they have a capacity to heal themselves. If you believe that, give me a thumbs up or a heart. If I'm saying something that you'd like to share with someone, please share it with them. I say this as a word of encouragement to you, because for a lot of us, when we're dealing with a health issue, sometimes it can be pretty discouraging. It can be scary. Maybe you're not sure what's going to happen, but I want to assure you that your body has a capacity to heal. It's pretty amazing. And then that's not to say that we're not going to go through difficult times or sicknesses or illnesses, and yes, even death. But the body is divinely designed, and there's so much more that we can do right now to live our healthiest life. And I want to encourage you in that. So let's get into this idea that the body is divinely designed. Let's think about the brain for a moment, okay? Just think about all of the functions that your brain does for you every single day. How your brain makes sure that your heart beats every single day nonstop for every moment of your life. Is that not amazing in and of itself? That your brain, one of its functions is making sure that your heart keeps pumping minute, second to second, minute by minute, every single day of your life nonstop. That is an amazing thing that your brain does. Your brain gives you the capacity to determine what is safe for you or what you should be fearful or walk away from. There's so much happening in our brains, and we don't even use the entire capacity of our brains. What do we say? Like maybe we use 20%, 30%. I don't remember what the statistic is, but there's so much that our brains do that we don't even understand or haven't even been able to tap into. And that's pretty amazing. Now, what can happen with brain function as folks get older is they can start to lose brain function. So for those of us, in our 40s, and older, sometimes even in your 30s, you start to get what we call brain fog, where you get forgetful, you're searching for words, you forget where you left your keys, you're like, where are my glasses? And they're on your head. Anybody having any issues with brain fog or memory issues? So those are some of the small ways in which the brain kind of starts to decline in its functioning. You're not as sharp as you once were, sorry. So let's talk about what are some of the things that might be impacting your brain function. And let's talk about this idea that, again, your body is divinely designed. And where this comes into play is this idea there are certain diseases that we have just come to accept, like, okay, well, when you get that disease, it's just all downhill from there. but that does not have to be the case. And I want to talk about Alzheimer's because that is one of those diseases where in most situations, we think once you get it, that's it. Okay. And there's actually a book out that I want to recommend for you. If you have a family member with Alzheimer's or a family history of Alzheimer's, this would be great for you to take a look at. Again, I'm not, prescribing any medical advice to you, but I just want, because I'm not able to do that in this capacity on these lives, but I want you to take a look at this book, and it's actually called The End of Alzheimer's. The End of Alzheimer's. And the author is Dale Bredesen, Dale, last name Bredesen. I've done some training in functional medicine, integrative medicine, which is all about getting to the root cause. And we've learned this idea that Alzheimer's is actually called type 3 diabetes. You guys may not know that. Alzheimer's has been referenced as type 3 diabetes because a lot of it has to do with what's happening with the vascular supply to the brain. That's part of it. Again, I'm not trying to get technical with it, but just the fact that this book is out there, this is a medical doctor, and he's sharing the research and the information about all the different factors that can impact something like Alzheimer's. So initially you may have thought, man, if somebody gets Alzheimer's, that's just it. There's no hope for that. But that does not have to be the case. And in this particular book, The End of Alzheimer's, and again, I'm telling you this because whether it's Alzheimer's, brain fog, whatever it is in your body that's a little bit off, and you may be feeling like you're on a certain path or trajectory, that's something that can be altered. You can turn from that direction that you may be going. Don't feel like all hope is lost. That's what I'm trying to tell you today. And I felt like this book was a great example of that as it relates to what's going on in the brain, as it relates to Alzheimer's. And what the case that he builds is the idea that there are a lot of different factors that can impact even something like Alzheimer's that seems like that's it when you get it. He's talking about inflammation on the brain and how that impacts it. Insulin resistance. I told you that Alzheimer's is sometimes called type 3 diabetes. He talks about also how toxins in your environment can play a role, infections, not having the right nutrients, hormonal imbalance, all of these things can play a role. So when you are diagnosed with an illness or if you're dealing with a certain disease, I want you to remember that your body is divinely designed. What does that mean? That means that there's probably a lot of ways that you can improve that situation. In some cases, you may be able to completely reverse it. And some of the things that you need to do in order to improve the situation or in order to reverse it, in some ways are really quite simple. So what I just read to you that Dr. Bredesen talks about as far as reversing Alzheimer's, he talks about nutrition. He talks about toxins, inflammation. These are some basic things that you can start to do. And this is actually maybe a series that we'll start going into when we talk about this idea that your body's divinely designed. What are some of the basic pillars that you can start working on so you can see that divine design play out in your own life? And some of you may have already had that experience. Maybe you had high blood pressure and you were able to make some changes and see some improvement in that. Or maybe you had diabetes and you were able to make some changes and see some improvement in that. I am encouraging you to think about this idea that you don't have to be tied down or chained to the idea that the diagnosis is your complete destiny. Your diagnosis is not your destiny, but instead think about the idea that your body is divinely designed. If you can appreciate what I'm saying, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. Your diagnosis is not your destiny. So I want you to unchain yourself, unleash yourself, be free from that idea. And I want you to be free in this idea that your body can get better. your body can heal. And even think about the idea when you're having pain or if there's something going on, it's really your body trying to give you a signal. Please share this with other people right now if they need to hear it. Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you can identify with what I'm saying. But again, your disease is not your destiny. I want you to embrace the idea that your body is divinely designed and you can start to change your situation as it relates to your health. I feel like I'm preaching right now because this is relative to your health, is relative to your spiritual and emotional well-being, because all of these things go together. You're not just a physical body without a spiritual body. So all of those things are important as it relates to your health journey, as it relates to your healing journey. Again, if you have family members or someone with Alzheimer's, early stages, take a look at this book. It's called The End of Alzheimer's by Dr. Dale Bredesen. And the reason why I mention him is because it's an example of how you can take a disease that might have otherwise been like a write off death sentence, that's it, and you can start to see some change and improvement in that. Same thing with diabetes, same thing with high blood pressure, same thing with high cholesterol, same thing with weight issues. These are things that you may be dealing with. And again, it can be changed, it can be reversed, it can be improved. I want you to feel free. I want you to feel free in the idea that your body can change, your body can heal, can get better. You just have to feed it the right things. And there's some basic pillars or principles that I'm going to start going over with you on these Thursdays with this word on wellness. And so we're going to dive into what are some of those pieces that we need to get into so you can start to see the divine design of your body manifested in your everyday life. Again, I'm Dr. Malika Woods, medical doctor and healthy lifestyle strategist at Dr. Woods Wellness. If this has been helpful, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, share this with someone who needs to know it, who needs to be encouraged. And I'm going to come to you next time. We're going to start working through what are some of the things that you can do on a practical basis so that you can start to see the divine design of your own body, start to see healing, start to see change. It is possible for you. It is possible for you. If you need specific help with your health or looking to see if you're on the right path, definitely you can set up a call with my team. You can set up a Ready to Feel Good Again strategy call. It's drwoodswellness.com/call. And we'll get on and see what you're dealing with, talk about how we can help you. If you're looking for some individual one-on-one help, we would be happy to do that.